Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I was requested by one of my followers to do a makeup look using the Morphe Soul of Summer palette, so that's what I thought I would do on my channel today, so without further ado let's just jump right into the video. To moisturise my skin I'm using the Simple Kind to Skin Hydrating Light Moisturiser, just using this just before everything else to make sure my skin is nice and moisturised. Next I'm going to be using Wonder Blur from the Body Shop. I'm using this just to fill in any pores, any lines and to smooth over dry patches to make sure that my foundation goes on really nice and smooth. To add some glow to my skin I'm using the L'Oreal Lumi Magique Face Primer. I like this to shine through my foundation to give myself a nice healthy glow. I like this one because it's not too shimmery and there's no obvious glitter in it, so it's really nice and subtle. For foundation I'm going to be using the NARS Sheer Glow foundation in the shade Mont Blanc. This is one of my all-time favourite foundations because it gives a really nice coverage but it doesn't feel too heavy on my skin. I've used this for years and I absolutely love it. I'm just blending this in with a Real Techniques buffing brush, and I thought I would speed through this process because it's pretty self-explanatory. Next I'm using the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. Just going to use this in a triangle underneath my eyes. I'm not going to highlight any other points of my face with this, just because I'm going to use a different product to do that. I'm just using this for a little bit of coverage and to add some luminosity underneath my eyes. I'm using a Real Techniques blending sponge to blend that in. I like using a sponge because I just find that it works the product in a little bit better. Now I'm using a Real Techniques multitask brush with my Leo Be My Skin face powder. I really like the packaging of this because, as you can see, it comes with this plastic coating which keeps it nice and hygienic. I'm just going to use this all over my face, particularly underneath my eyes to set my concealer, and also to make sure that I don't get shiny throughout the day. For bronzer, I'm using Benefit's Hoola Bronzer. I'm going to start by adding this onto my forehead just to add some warmth and also to try and slim down my massive 5 head. And then just applying some to my cheeks. I'm not going to contour with this powder too much because I'm going to use another product after this. Just using this just to add a little bit of warmth because the contour colour that I'm going to use is quite cool, so I need to balance it out. I'm really sorry as well if this voiceover is crap because I haven't done one before, so please be nice to me. Next I'm using an angled brush with the Makeup Revolution Ultra Contour palette. I'm just taking that nice sort of cool brown shade and I'm going to just use this colour to chisel out my cheekbones. I'm sucking in my cheeks and just applying it right underneath the cheekbone. That's what I'm trying to say, get your words out, Lucy. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. If you'd like a more in-depth video on how I contour, then please let me know. I don't really do anything too special and I am going a little bit more dramatic than I usually would today, just because it's kind of a special occasion, second YouTube video, you know. Also just going to apply some to my temples just so that it doesn't look like I've got a massive streak of brown going across my face. Using the banana shade from the same palette. I'm sorry that it didn't focus, but you get the drift. Just using this under the eyes just to further set the concealer and to brighten it up a little bit. also going to use some on my forehead, on my cupid's bow, along the bridge of my nose, and some on my chin. Next I'm using this blush by Natural Collection on the same brush that I just used to apply my contour. I believe this brush is called Sugar Plum. Ooh, I don't know what that was, sorry. Just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks. I really like this shade because it's not too bright, it's got no shimmer running through it. It's just nice to add a little bit of a flush of colour. To highlight, I'm using this powder from the Balm. It's called Mary Luminizer and it's my absolute favourite. I've used it for years. It is my holy grail. I'm using a fan brush and I'm just going to apply this to the tops of my cheekbones. I do like to apply some on my cheeks as well, just because I think it looks quite nice when I smile. Jacqueline Hill, you taught me that. It's really hard narrating a video. Like, you feel like if you say anything wrong, you have to start all over again. It's rubbish. I'm just applying some to my cupid's bow and the bridge of my nose, but I'm only using the excess product. I'm not dipping it in any more than I already did. For my eyebrows, I'm using the Dip Brow from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm using a number 12 brush to apply this. So I'm just going ahead and filling in my brows. I tried to stay in the frame as much as I could. I think I did a pretty good job, to be honest. It is really hard, but I am just going to speed through this part because it does get a little boring and it does take me quite a long time to do my eyebrows. But I thought that some of you would appreciate seeing it, so I did leave, most of it in. Then I'm moving on to do my second eyebrow, but I do cut out because, time. Now I'm just applying a eyeshadow base. I'm using the Maybelline Colour Tattoo. It's just the shade that's a dupe for MAC Soft Ochre, I believe. I wonder if I've got it here so I can see the... It's called Creme de Nude. There we go. And now for the star of the show. You can see that I'm quite excited about this palette from the video. It's absolutely gorgeous, the Morphe Summer of Soul palette. Just taking this shade here and yeah, I'm just going to apply this to the parts that you see me doing in the video. What I'm doing here is I'm just placing the colour down. I'm going to blend it out in a sec. I want this look to be quite bronzed, a little bit smoky, but not too much, so oh, there we go. Now I'm taking my blending brush. I'm just going to blend out that line, just to make it look a little bit more seamless. And I'm just going to do the same to the other eye. I'm really sorry about that hair that's like flicking around in the video. I had my fan on because it was so hot. I'm sure it's annoying me just as much as it's annoying you, or vice versa. Now I'm just taking that nice rosy pink shade and I'm just going to apply it in the centre of my eyelids. Didn't want there to be too much of a contrast of colour, I just wanted everything to blend in nicely together. And I'm just doing the same to the other eye. Now I'm taking the shade next to the one that we just used, just using that sort of in the outer corner of the eye. Then I'm just taking my blending brush again and blending it all out. And nice one, Lucy, for showing the product upside down, but I've just taken the Soap and Glory Super Cat liner in the colour black, and I'm just going to do my winged liner. I did have a question from somebody asking how I do my winged eyeliner, so if anybody else would like to see a video on how I do my winged liner, I would be more than happy to do that. I've been doing it for quite a few years. It was the first sort of makeup related thing that I ever got into, so I do have some tips and tricks for beginners. If you'd like to see that, give the video a thumbs up. As you can see, this part does require maximum concentration. Next I'm going to apply the Revlon All-in-One Mascara. I really like this mascara because the formula is quite wet and the brush is quite small, so it really allows you to get a good coating on the eyelashes. I really struggle with large brushes because my eyelashes are really long and I usually just get the mascara everywhere. I can never do it without getting at least a spot on the eyelids. And that's the eye look finished. For lips, I'm using the Soap and Glory Sexy Mother Pucker in the shade Pink Apricot, just to finish things off. And that's the finished look, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.